world with a card stacked against her. She was born with a rare disability called arthrogryposis multiplex congenita. Say that 3 times fast. Which basically meant that she was born with some of her muscles atrophied and some of them completely not there. For example, she had the muscles to push her arms out, but not to pull them back in. Also, when she was born, her arms and legs were completely twisted around. In fact, as she was being born, the doctors broke one of her legs and had to rush my mom to get a C-section. So she was born with a broken leg and a severe disability, which meant she was never going to be able to walk. But she is a tribute to tenacity. She dulcified my life. And today I would like to share with you some stories of how she became a person that I not only loved because she was my sister, but because she was a good person. And I respected some of the, I may not have always seen eye to eye with her. She made decisions I would not have made. And although that frustrated me as a sister, it also made me love and respect her more as a person. Toni was an amazingly happy little girl. And that's despite the fact that she spent the first 5 years of her life in and out of casts, in and out of hospitals, constantly getting surgeries, and we even had to put her on what we called the rack. We would put her in braces, strap her to this board, and then stick her downstairs because we couldn't stand her crying for 2 hours. All these were an effort to help her walk, which she was never able to do. But despite that, she was always smiling. She was always smiling. She also, thanks to my parents, never let her disability get in her way of getting what she wanted. Now, she was a Taurus, so she could out-stubborn anybody in the room. And I'm a Virgo, and Virgos are also stubborn, so she could out-stubborn me. Our parents made her have as normal a life as possible. So all her friends used to comment how she didn't seem like a disabled person, and yet she was in a wheelchair. She was able to communicate a presence, a being that transcended the body that God gave her. Another thing that was really special about her was her general love for animals, people, and God. She was a very spiritual person. Sometimes it came across very odd. We were both raised Catholic, and then she ended up going to a Baptist church and said she was both Baptist and Catholic. She didn't quite get the fact that when you're one religion, that they don't allow for dual citizenship in religion. So, but anyway, you know, she loved going to the church because they sang, and she really started having such a relationship with God in her life that her attendants actually told my mother after she passed that even though they didn't come into knowing her with a concept of God or a relationship with God, they grew spiritually just by knowing my sister. As you can see in some of these pictures, she's there with her canine companion. She was blessed to share her life with 2 canine companions. The first one was Galahad. Galahad was the first and last Rottweiler to ever be trained to be a canine companion. Why? I don't know if you know Rottweilers, but they are stubborn dogs, which is why Toni got him because she could out-stubborn him. But it turned out he was just the Rottweilers were just too stubborn for the program, so they usually go with Golden Labs. And in this picture, she is with her Golden Lab Pandora, who, I don't know if you believe in this kind of thing or not, but I understand that when she passed away, she was greeted first by Pandora on the other side. They had a very special relationship. Now, Toni liked guys, really liked good-looking guys, and took every opportunity she could to get a picture of herself with a good-looking guy. So when we went to Hawaii, she got a picture of herself with 2 good-looking Hawaiians. I was so embarrassed. But she was also really, she stood up for herself. She didn't wait around for guys to ask her out. If she liked a guy, she'd give her number to a friend and say, go tell him to give me a call. I would never do that. I'm like too shy. But she did it, and she did it despite the fact that she had a deformed body and was in a wheelchair. She never let her body get in the way of what she wanted in her life. And although she was given so many limitations in life, she even went to her prom. I didn't even go to my prom. She was a decent human being, a sweet and wonderful person. And I miss her terribly. But I know that because she was who she was, she helped me become who I am. And I thank the Lord for the almost 42 years I got to spend with her.